Good morning. Good morning. What's today? Wednesday. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Come on in. Leave your umbrellas at the door. Is it raining where you are? It's pouring down here. Good morning. Come on in. I hope that it's working. Let me check. Volume is good. Camera 1 is good. Camera 2 is cool. Camera 3 is wunderbar. Okay, I'm here. Anybody there apart from Stuart? Are you in the building today with me, with our friends? Let me know. There she is, Susan Young. Good morning, Susan. Always good to have your company, Jackie. As soon as I see the old, it's like ticker tape. It's brilliant. There's so many of us. I reckon now that the weather has taken a turn, there'll probably be a few more of us too. Come on in. Come on in. Funny old times, aren't they? Funny old times. Who'd have thought that there we would be in the middle of September, locked in, colouring in ducks. That wasn't on my wish list. Was it on yours? Was it on your bucket list? Funny, isn't it? Rainy Gateshead, yeah. Not raining in Watford. Okay. Raining in Crowborough. It's good for the garden. That's what they say. Good for the plants. Come on in. Come on in. Rainy Gateshead. No, I've seen that one. Good morning, Jen from Rainy Gateshead. It's good to be back. It was nice to have a day off. I don't know about you. I love the SHAC and I love our group, but it really helped me to be able to get some work done yesterday, and I bet it helped you as well to catch up and keep up, eh? I reckon there'll be more of us if we do it this way. I reckon more people will think, I can handle 3 days a week, 5 days too much. Eh? Apart from that, the way it looks, there could be more people coming home again. So we shall see, eh? We shall see. I mean, we could always move it to 10 o'clock at night when the pub's shut. What's that all about? They must know what they're doing. They must know more than I do. Raining in Berkswell. Do you live in Berkswell, Sue? That's near Birmingham, isn't it? Do you know that's where we stay? When we do the NEC, we stay at a beautiful bed and breakfast in Berkswell. Brilliant. Norma Falconbridge. Mwah. Wonderful woman, great friend. Yeah, absolutely fabulous. So Berkswell's a beautiful village, isn't it? You'd never think that beautiful village could be so close to Birmingham. You know, you wouldn't think that you were within spitting distance of the NEC there, would you? Marion, grüß dich. Come on in. Hi, Beryl. Lovely to have your company. Is it 10 o'clock? Nearly. Early to the party. Come on in. Have you got your tea? What do you drink, tea or coffee? I drink strong tea with red label milk. When I was with Mum and Dad last week, they do green label. And it's funny how you get used to, isn't it? It's funny how you get used to. You wouldn't think milk's milk, but it isn't, you know. It tastes really creamy if you use green label. And that's semi-skimmed, isn't it? Oh, the things that we notice. Sue Dakin, hello peeps. Come on in. Good to have your company. I hope you're doing better, Sue. You had a bit of a rough ride there for a bit, didn't you? Cats and dogs in the northeast, Brenda. Oh, Ken, it's weather out there for ducks. Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, I had to laugh this morning. I'll show you in a minute. I've had a right old chuckle in here on my own. Cloudy in Madrid. Well, that's comforting. Hola. What are you doing in Madrid? Do you live there? Lucy, do you live in Madrid? Or is that Madrid, New Mexico? Or Madrid near Birmingham? Is it Madrid? Madrid? España? Oh, she's in one of those moods, you can tell, can't you? Right, Stuart's in the building with you. So if you've got any questions, if you need anything, direct your questions at Stuart, because he is there to help you and he knows all about it. And we are going to crack on with our ducks. Okay? You ready? Ducks and the trees today. I did have a laugh though when I was doing it. Let's have a look, see if you spot it now. Now I've coloured in my duck, right? I did the tree as well. I thought I'd get ahead. So I did the ducks. Well, today what we're going to do is the bodies, that speckling. Right? And then I thought, well, while I'm in the zone, I thought I'll do the tree. And then, when I did the tree and the duck, it wasn't until I did that, I thought, look at the size of that duck up there. Look at that one. That is a hell of a duck, you know. You don't see it till you colour the tree in. And then I thought, crikey, if that duck, it's more like a Boeing 747. If that duck is flying overhead, all I can suggest is you run for cover. What size of it? Perspective. See, it should be in front of the tree, shouldn't it? Eh? Yeah, run for cover. If you see that duck, run. Because if it's had prunes, you're doomed. See, in front of the tree, okay. In front of the trees, okay. Behind the trees, impossible. I can't imagine it. Can you see what I see now? Perspective. It's all about perspective, isn't it? So I thought, well, that's a good word for the day. Perspective, isn't it? In a much wider sense as well, apart from the fact that we've got a mutant duck in our picture. I thought it was funny. And it really does show, you don't see it until you colour it in, and then you think, what? How is that possible? Comical, really. Anyway, so let's get started, shall we? Oh, do you know what? I'm having one of my moments. I'm going to take this jacket off. Let's take this cardigan off. It gets hot, it gets cold. What's up, Doc? Hello, Karen. I get hot, I get cold. It's horrid in Birmingham. You've got the lights on already, Helen? Yeah, I always have the lights on, but then I live in an old house with little windows, so it's always dark. It's always dark. It's not a great house for plants. Right, that was useful information. Okay, ducks. So this is what we're colouring, and this is what you did when we were together Monday. We did those beautiful green heads, didn't we? Mallards. These are drakes, remember? We did the drakes, didn't we? And then we did this beautiful iridescent blue speculum, as it's called. And here the drakes are going. They're off to warmer climes, and I understand that. They've left all the women at home. But I thought today we'd have a look at the bodies, because we've done the wings, haven't we? We've done the head, but we haven't done the bodies, and we haven't done the legs. Legs are orange. I looked it up. And there's also a flash of red on the undercarriage of that Boeing 747. There's a flash of red if you look up a mallard duck. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, do you know what we're having for tea tonight? I don't know. I think I might have to change the menu. We're going to have duck. I did actually buy duck breasts from M&S. I don't feel good about it now. They're expensive though. I might have to put them in the freezer and reconsider. It'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Yeah, I feel a bit bad about it now. So Dave, if you're watching, duck's off the menu today. I'll think of something. I can get some chicken out of the freezer. Same thing, isn't it? Same thing. I mean, there's a lot to be said for vegetarianism in that regard. Isn't there? Thinking, what shall we have? Cheese on toast? The road narrows. The road narrows. Right, okay, let's get started, and we're going to go to the bodies, right? If you don't like stippling, just go and put the kettle on, cross your arms and watch, because it's all about stippling. The whole thing is really. Actually, while we're on it, let's have a quick look at the tree, because that's what I spent most of the 2 hours leading up to this. See what I did? It's quite an arty design. Well, it's definitely arty now, because it isn't real, is it, to put the Boeing 747 in. But if you have a look, you'll see that what I did was I took the colours that we used for the ducks, I haven't used any other colours, and I used the colours for the ducks for the tree. So, but it looks nice from an arty point of view. I think it looks quite good, don't you? Yeah. And then, but it's seriously, it's not till I put the blue in the sky, and then I thought, hang on, what's happened here? You can't see it there. Look, it's all a blur. Right. So we're going to do the bodies. So what we need to do the bodies is definitely Dick Van Dyke, Dick Brown or whatever it's called. Van Dyke Brown, Van Dyck Brown. 176 of the polychromos. Yeah. And then in your pergolinas, if you use those, go for the B13. I think B13. No, hang on a minute. It could be B3. Let me just check. You want a nice brown anyway. B3. I think the B13 is a bit redder. Yeah, no. B3. B3. Be kind. B3. Okay, actually, that'll probably be better for testing. Put that there. Slide it in there. How you doing? All right. Are you okay? Yeah, come on. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 o'clock. It's all good. But now we're only doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We've got a crack-a-lack, haven't we? We've got to crack on. So we'll start. Let's have a look. Which duck should we go for? Because I haven't done I would suggest, right, that we go for this one. Yeah, if I go for this one, it's got the largest expanse. I mean, they're the same, all three of them. But clearly, this one's the one where you're going to see most. So what we'll do is, we'll get a bit of a brown. Let's start with the darkest colour, and we'll do the neck piece first. I know I haven't done the head. Doesn't matter. It's not important. I've done 3 heads. Look, I'm ahead of the game. Sorry. You'd feel like me if you lived in the room above your garage. Hang on, I'm coming in a bit closer. Nudge up, nudge up. That's better. There you go. Isn't that better? I think so. Yes, mighty duck. Let's do the mighty duck. Right, Dick Van Dyke. We're going with the Dick Van Dyke Brown, or Van Dyck Brown. And then turn it round. And we're going to put, I'll leave it there so you can see it. And we're going to put a little bit, are you ready to rock and roll? Are we doing this? Fingernails need sorting as well. Right, in we go. There you go. Just get a real light, like that, real light. Okay. Look, see? Not much. Oh, I better get it on the picture. There you go. So real little circular motions along the bottom. We're going to sort the undercarriage out, the bottom part. Right, here we go. Dark brown it is underneath. There we are. Just like little circular motions, layer on layer, so you don't get a stripe, see? And then we're gonna just light feathery strokes outwards. Do you like hanging out in the SHAC? I love it. I love it. I just wish that there was some sort of, mind you, can you imagine 300 of us or 400 of us all talking at the same time? Yeah, no, I don't think we get much done actually, would we? You wouldn't be able to hear yourself think. It's probably safer this way, hey? It's probably better this way. Because it's good, really. We can all hang out and stay safe at the same time. I'll tell you what I have done. It's interesting. It was an automatic shift. You know, because I blog every day, don't I? I have done for years. And what I noticed was, let me get my Dame Edna's on. I noticed when we started doing the SHAC, it was like I started neglecting the blog. Not so much neglect, I still did it, but I didn't have the art in me to do the arty blogs, you know, like the step-by-steps and that, with the stamps and the stencils and the jelly plate and that. And I don't know, I I didn't have the art in me. I was sort of arted out by the time we'd done the SHAC. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I noticed, weirdly enough, oh, hang on a minute, that's wrong. I noticed yesterday, it was strange, I had the hankering, or the day before, I had the hankering to start doing more art on the blog. Isn't it weird, where you take it away one place and then you pick it up at the other end again? Do you do that as well? Yeah, so check out the blog if you're new to the Clarity Fold. Check out the blog. It's barbaragrayblog.com. There you go. That's not hard. One Day at a Time, it's called. And I've been blogging every day, with the exception of last week, because I went and stayed with Mum and Dad and took care of that and them. Yeah, I've been blogging for years. I think it must be coming up on 6 years now. 2013 I started, so what's that, 13? I think I started 2013. I don't keep count, to be fair. Right, so we've got that nice dark now, yeah? Don't want to go too mad. That'll do. And then what we're going to do is stop with that colour and go to our lovely, you know, our safe colour, that beige, the beige one. It's called Warm Grey 2, right? So we just need a Warm Grey 2, and now we'll just flick over the top of that, flick over the top of the Warm Grey 2, that's it, like that. So you're still going in over the brown, that will tone that one down a bit, but it's just giving that nice, it's nice, look. Everybody happy? See, so you just do that. And it kind of adds, it's like a bridge. Can you see? So I do that. That'll work. If you have got the pergoliners, if you're using the pergoliners, right, oh, these are so strong. If you're using the pergoliners, this tin, like loads of you bought these, right, these pencils, because they're about 30 quid or something. I think they're in the sale. So if you bought these, then the one thing there's the shortfall here is there's no greys, there's no creams, there's no beiges, there's none of those. Whereas if you invested in the, I'm not saying to, but if you invested in the polychromos, the 60 tin, right, then you've got greys. Look, that's where that lot is there, but I've got them, I'm using them. So what I did was, I put together a set of 12 pencils that have got all the greys. For those of you who've got the pergoliners, but you haven't got the greys, the warm grey, the beige, the ivory, you know, all these colours, sky blue. Actually, sky blue is not in the big tin either. Really light blue, got gold, silver, copper, and several different greys. I put together a set of 12 on the website. So that way, if you've got the pergoliners with the watercolour pencils, because there's 20 watercolour pencils in there, then if you get the supplement set of 12, you're good to go. You can, you know, that really does help. If you haven't got good pencils, that would be, if it doesn't stretch to the big set. Having said that, if you've already got the big set, you know what, there's not much of an overlap. I think there may be one overlap with the warm grey, because you just go through it like that, you know. But so the set of 12, Stuart will tell you where it is. The set of 12 is good for anybody, right, who wants to do the colouring and the shading. But if you've got the pergoliners and you're thinking, I wish I bought the tin of 60 now, fear not, just get the little set of 12 and that will cover you. Works. Mind you, having said that, you can use whatever you've got, you know. I know though that a lot of you like to use what I use, which is very flattering. And I've got to say, the polychromos, they are pretty special. Right, you ready for this? Here we go. So we'll do a little bit of this now. And what we're doing now is we're taking the Van Dyke one, and you're wandering. Look, see how you wander? So you wander from the dark area, and then you wander into the light area. See? That'll do. That's all I've done. So you just do a little bit of wander. Let's have a look on the real close up so you can see. Let's have a look. Yeah, see? So now from the top, it's not hard, from the top what we'll use is is it ivory? Oh yeah, I like this one. Ivory, look at the length of it. That's one of those 12 that I'm talking about. Right, so this is a really nice colour and we're going to put it in over the top like that. So we're going to add that over the top. And it really is an authentic kind of, even if the duck is a little bit oversized, that colour hits the spot absolutely perfectly. When you look up a mallard drake, it's bang on. Nice. And don't forget, if you feel you've overcooked it, you know, you always can go take it back. If you feel, I wish I hadn't done so much brown, I wish I'd had a little bit more of the, then you take your clean rubber, your clean eraser, and then let's just go back in. Look, watch how I take it back again. If I think, oh, there's a bit too much on there, let me take this back. Look, I just lift it back. Just take it back. There's no, look, do you see? You haven't screwed it up. You haven't done anything wrong. Just take it back a bit. And then you can go in with a bit more of the ivory, if you feel. There you go, changes it a bit. And then if you want, go in with a little bit of the light grey. Change that a bit. There you go. And then to bake the bridge, you can use a stipple. I think it was Judith Topham I was reading on Facebook the other night, and she said that in her class they used to drive the teacher mad because, and she reckons it was her idea. They used to. I thought it was really funny. They used to in art. They used to do colouring, and then they all decided right at the same time to do the stippling. So 30 of them, and the teacher used to go berserk because she could handle it for only a little while, and then it used to get really, really too loud. Can you imagine all, look, now magnify that by 30. Kids. Cool, who'd have them, eh? Right, so now, let's take that warm grey. What we're going to do now is do the main part of the body, okay? Hang on. Cup of tea first. Got to have a sip of tea. Sip of tea. My tea always goes cold. Everybody happy? Yorkshire. It's nice to focus, isn't it? You know? It's good. You learn things as you go along. You know, you're part of a crowd. There's something about that as well. There's something about belonging, isn't there? You know? It's good. I've often, in my life, I've often felt like I'm on the outside, not on the inside. Do you know what I mean? I've often felt that I don't know, maybe because I travelled so much, you know, because I went to Manchester to university, and then I was in Germany, and then I was in the States. So I never really stayed in one place that long. And I guess for that reason, I was never part of a group of real tight girlfriends, you know, like I've never had that. And so it's really special for me, this kind of community, you know, because I've never felt that I've been part like that. I've always been, it's weird, isn't it? And then suddenly, you know, it comes together, and for a terrible reason, you know, the reason that we're all together is because of COVID-19. That's what started the SHAC. And yet, so much good can come out of something so awful. Look at that. Lisa Shackleton. Isn't that beautiful? That's pyrography. Okay, look at that. What a beautiful gift. I feel very, very, very privileged. And that's what I put my cup on now. There you go. Isn't that lovely? So thank you, Lisa. It's very generous. And thank you, Annie, for the new face masks. Because at pottery, we have to wear face masks. And it's so... I've got this heavy-duty black thing, and I feel like I'm like... It's like deep-sea diving, you know, and you're trying to do pottery and your glasses steam up. And I know I've spit on them and all sorts. And then Annie sent me a really lightweight one. So I'm going to use it this afternoon, Annie. I'm going to take it to pottery today. Thank you. You know, so much generosity in this group. So many beautiful cards and stuff from my mum as well. You know, and I guess that is about the community, isn't it? There's a lot, so much good is coming out of this, really. Yeah, it brings out the best in a lot of people. You know, it brings out the best. And I know you're all thinking, yeah, but it brings out the worst in a lot as well. Yeah, but, you know, let's focus on the good stuff, eh? Let's focus on the good stuff. We're just about to bring this ninja... Look, going in behind the tree now. You see, strictly speaking, the bird should be in front of the tree, shouldn't it? It's a little bit of a graphic faux pas. However, it's art. Art for art's sake. I laughed my head off when I saw it. It's perspective, isn't it? Right, so the light grey, warm grey too. Again, I'm sorry to keep banging on about it. Best pencil of all time. And it's in that little set of 12, but it's also in the set of 60. It is a double up, I'm sure. I would definitely have doubled up on that one. Stuart can check, but I'm pretty sure I doubled up on it. Only because I use it, I chomp through it. I think you can buy these individually on our website. I think so. I should really check before I say things like that. But I'm pretty sure you can. I know you can buy all the pergoliners individually. I've seen them in the picking area. Stuart will tell you. He's probably checking it quickly himself. Right, there you go. See? So you're starting to bring the old duck out now. The duck. And this time, on this part of the body, instead of going to the warms, the yellows and that, I'd rather go to the greys. So the next grey I think I'm going to use now is Cold Grey 3. Now, here we go again. Right, you on this? We'll stay on the undercarriage. And what we're going to do is add a little bit of shadow, but with dots. Dot, 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 dot. Try and stay on the duck. Sorry, that sounded so sarcastic. I didn't mean it like that. Look, if you feel, look, said the crafter, if you feel that you're struggling to stay on the duck, look, just put a little bit of masking tape there, and then that way, I won't have to worry. If I go over, I'm going on the masking tape, see? No worries. Where there's a will, there's a way. Right. And if you slow down, you've got more control anyway. And if you hold the pencil down further at the bottom, you've got more control. Yeah? Name that tune. Did you used to do that? God, do you know, that reminds me of when we were kids. Steve and I, my brother and I, used to tap a tune out on his back and then yell at him if he didn't get it right. Do you remember? Did you do that? I used to go. And he'd stand there and he'd be tapping on his back. And he'd go, give us another line. Give us another line. And he'd say, I give up. I say, she loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. And he said, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. I used to do that with Dave in the bed. Yeah, little things, please, little minds, as they say. Right, here we go. So we're getting some good shade going here. See, now if you want, I'll take this away. But it's just a, you know, it's an additional tip, top tip, and all that good stuff. Right, see? There we go. Now, let's have a look. It's looking good. You see how you can get a real gentle perspective, can't you? Get that lovely shade. I remember last time we were doing this, I can't remember which, I think it must have been the Eagles. And I remember reading on Facebook and somebody said, oh, I got really fed up with stippling. And then she said she had a break, went away, came back. And when she came back, she could see just how effective it actually had been. See? So if you're struggling, just cover up the area that you really want to go heavily on. It's a shading technique, is what it is. You can shade smoothly, can't you, by feathering like that. Or if you want a bit of texture, then you just dot 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 dot, and that works too. Which one am I using, I hear you ask? Warm grey 4. Warm grey 4. Paul's on telly tonight at 6 o'clock. Oh yes, beautiful Christmas stamps, very nice, and dies. And dies. They're windows, beautiful stained glass windows, really lovely. Yeah, so we've got some new little stamps. The dies have been around a little while. Got them in stencils as well. I don't know if they're on the show, but they're definitely. We've got these new stamps. They're gorgeous. I'm going to do a blog about them later. Oh, there they are. I'll show you them. I'll show you them. They're really, really pretty. Really, really pretty. Look, little die version. There. See them? Look. Aren't they nice? Look, they're only little. They're not big. And there's a new one. Peace and love. Peace and love. Tell you what I love about this one. This reminds me of Jane Nestorenko, because that little element there, that little piece, Jane drew that. Nice. So there you go. You see, you got the shepherds, Madonna, dove of peace, shepherds, peace and love, dove, Madonna, star. We know how to draw them now, and a candle. But they're lovely little stamps. So I'm going to blog those later. Oh, excuse me. Our stamps are very, very robust. Right, here we go. What am I on here? Yes, Dave, cool. That would be a show to watch if Dave were doing it. Do you know, that might not be a bad idea. Paul, we could, couldn't we? Set Dave up. Hey? I tell you what, it'd be a show to remember. He's quite good, you know, he's very creative. I'm not sure about the stamping, but it'd be fabulous, wouldn't it? Yeah, do you know, we ought to think about that, Paul. For Christmas. Right, here we go. At the moment, Dave is up to his ears in sorting out my little pottery studio. Right underneath where I sit here, he's built in the garage. He's building a studio for me. The wheel arrived. The wheel arrived yesterday. The wheel. Yep. Still on the in the box, on the pallet. But yeah, boom. Here we go. Clarity Pottery. Potterlot. Clarity Potterlot. Apparently, Jim, if anybody ever asks on a Wednesday, where's Barb? He says she's put a lot on today. So I reckon we're going to have a Clarity Potterlot. It'll come. I want to specialise in tiles. I really want to get good at tiles. Right, let's add a little bit of shade here. See, now I'm assuming... Oh, hang on, I'm out of the picture. Let's add a bit of shade here. I'm assuming that you've done the wings, right? So what you want to do now is get the perspective so that this wing drops behind. So the trick here is to take a grey, take a light grey, and use a sort of the chisel, you know, like we always do. Make it flat, like that. And then bring it round, bring it in there like that. See? Like so. And then that will, over the top of the lilac and the purple and the iridescent blue, there, and then if you just bring that in like that, right, and then tease it out a little bit. And then if you wanted to, you could go in with a darker colour and just go along the edge now, just right along the line art edge, like that. And then that, because this looks a little bit extreme because it's all coloured in, but you'll see that then, because it's going from white, this is coloured normally, that will give you that perspective there. See? See, if we're not going to colour it in, then you just bring this out a bit more. There. See? There you go. So you can see how now we've dropped that wing to the back, haven't we? So let's have a look at this. How are we doing with our body? Yeah. Getting some good colouring going here. All it is dots. Look. See, this bit here hasn't been done. I haven't done the top bit here. So we're going in there now. Put that warm grey in. Best colour. I'll tell you what I find. What I find is, like, yeah, on Monday when we were working on the head and the wings, we were using really dark colours, weren't we? Like dramatic. It was purple. No, it was even darker than that. Delft blue. That was it. 141, and then I was using that really dark green. What was that dark green? I had it in my hand earlier because you need it to do the tree. So I wonder where I've put that then. There it is. Pine green. So what I did was, but what I find is when you use dark colours like that, you have to go, it's a real good learning exercise in how to go lightly. And then when you go to a lighter colour like that, you realise just how easy light colours are by comparison, you know. It's like taking a holiday when you go back to a light colour. There you go. So we'll just add a little bit of that depth in there. And like I say, you can always slow it down if you feel you haven't got much control. Hold the pencil down the end, like that. Hold the pencil down the end. Hold it upright. And then I'm just going to lean on that so I don't lean on my artwork. And then you can slow it down if you prefer and be more deliberate about your dots. Sometimes you get a better result by doing that. And then you get impatient and then you go off again, don't you? This reminds me of Josie Davidson when she's doing grid work. When she's doing her grid, she's like that, like a brain gun, like a pneumatic drill. And I'm like, There you go. Doesn't that look pretty? That's so pretty. So translate that idea to something else, to another surface. Take a teacup, take a saucer, take a tile, take anything. Take a skirt. It doesn't have to be a bird, but it's just getting that beautiful texture, isn't it? Right, so we've done that. What I also wanted to do is, let's have a look, see if you can get an orange. Have you got an orange in your box? I'm going to use a dark cadmium orange out of the polychromos, right? So use the dark cadmium orange, get the legs in, there's some nice oranges in here, in the pergoliners. What have we got here? B10's quite good, isn't it? But you could use one of the watercolour ones. A11. I mean, you don't have to use water with a watercolour pen. That is not a fact. right. In fact, it's the opposite. They are water soluble if you choose to, but you don't have to. So now let's go to the legs. So just add a little bit of, just a little flash of orange. There you go, behind the tree. Nice. Let's do this leg here. Let's do the ones we can see. Right, in we go. Easy. Just up the end. Look, up the leg, and then feather it out. That's that one. And then the one at the back is going to be a little bit darker. How you doing? Do you like the ducks? I love them. Even the ninja. On the Boeing 747. Put a butterfly on it. That'd be a hell of a butterfly too. Right, here we go. So we're just going to flick up there, like that. And you can add a bit of texture by just add the dark up right up the centre like that, and then leave. See? Provided that the pencil's sharp enough, you can get some really great interest on the legs as well, right? Just like on the beak, same thing, you know? That'll do. Where's that warm colour? I might use a bit darker one. Let's use the brown. Just going to add a little flash of depth through there. That's it. Nice. Yeah, that'll do. Right, now it doesn't look too weird. Well, that said, that looks good. So I've got my orange legs in. The thing about perspective as well, you know, if that's the word of the day, we've got to get everything in our lives into perspective at the moment, haven't we? You know, before we get frightened and think that it's the end of the world. It's not. Just right size it. We just got a little bit of a blip again. You know, there's no need to get frightened. Just batten down the hatches again. And I think this time round, if I may say so, I find it a lot. God, I've done that leg a bit orange, isn't it? I find this time round a lot less worrying because I know what to expect. It's when this happened in March with the lockdown, we didn't know what was going on, did we? You know, right, red, a little bit of stippling, just easy does it. Yeah, we didn't know what was going on, and so it was very frightening, wasn't it? And that's why we all got together here. But this time, you know, we've got a rough. I'm not saying it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not downplaying it at all. That is not what I'm doing. But what I am saying is, we've got a better understanding now of what we're up against, and I feel personally that helps now, because you know what to do, you know what not to do, you know what's coming. It's not, you know, it's not. Nothing's a surprise now. We know. It's like a cause and effect. You do that happens. You do that happens. You wear a mask, you wash your hands, we go back to that again. It's fine. You know, we just got to stick together, play by the rules, be sensible. It's going back to where we were before. Whereas when we started this game, we didn't have a clue, did we? We didn't know what was going on. So now, and that's what the perspective idea is that I thought, is, well, let's get it in perspective. You know, it's okay. You know, let's right size it. Let's right size it in our lives. You know, let's not catastrophize it. Let's right size it, regardless of what they tell us. Let's not catastrophize it. you know, because it just makes for a real anxious. It makes you anxious, doesn't it? No need to. I don't think so. I think we can, let's get it in perspective. Look, let's get it in perspective. Okay, so let's have a look what we've done so far. We've done the body. So if you look at the one I've done, if we look at the one that I've completed, then you'll see where I kept it quite light because, of course, I put the sky blue in the background. And it was when I put the sky in the background was when I realised. I was like, oh dear goodness me, look at the size of that super duck, right? Mighty Duck. Isn't there a film called Mighty Duck or something? So what we're going to do now is let's have a look at the tree. It's a strange tree, yeah, but it's so lovely and arty. It's so lovely and arty. And what I've done is I've only used the colours that were used in the duck, in the tree. So I've used the yellow from the beak. There's a little bit of yellow. I used the pine green from the head. I used the brown, Dick Van Dyke brown, that brown one, from the undercarriage, and then loads of greys, just to tone it down, tone it down, tone it down. See? But it looks pretty cool, doesn't it, as a finished piece of artwork. And then when you look at that now, right, if you look at it, let's have a look from here. What I was thinking, I'll hold it down like so you can see it. See, so I've put a bit of flash of blue in. Let's look ahead a little bit. And I've put that lovely warm grey in the hills, right? And then the bits that are missing, and this is what we could do on Friday, we're going to use the same colour palette. We're not going to introduce any other colours now. But for me, I was thinking I would love to flood this now with the yellows and the creams. I think that would be absolutely perfect. So where I've come in with the blue from that side, I reckon I'm going to go down into the fields with yellows and just the colours that we've got in front of us. Yellows and reds, and it's autumn, isn't it? That's what I think. And when I was looking at the trees in the garden, when I was trying to figure out what is this, what are we doing here, what I realised was that when you look at trees at this time of year, there are a lot of holes in the trees where the sky peeps through, and but they're dark brown and dark green. You know, that's what they look like depending on which stage they're at of shedding their. So I thought, right, that's what we're going to do then. So what we want to do now, take your dark green one. Should we just get started? It takes a little while, the trees, took me ages. But it's a nice learning curve because it's nice to get that texture. So let's pretend the light's coming from there, from the sun, right? So let's start and let's just add really lightly. This is a good exercise in that dark colour again, using that dark colour. And we're just going to add a little bit of dark through here, really lightly. And we'll put a bit in there. We're just going to add a little bit of green through the tree. Doesn't have to be all perfect. The ducks need to be a little bit more exact, but the tree doesn't. Just get the flat going so that you don't make lots of lines. And then add a little bit of green. If the sun's coming in from that side, you probably want to sort of stay around the dark up that side, don't you? I'm going a bit dark now, but just to show you, this is the side you want to work on, isn't it? So we'll add a little bit of green, and I'm just going round and round like the garden, like circles. Just add a little flash of green here and there. So you do that all the way through, and you can do, hey, listen, there's the little trees here, there's the trees in the background there. See, all the perspective is perfect till you get to Almighty Duck here, or the Boeing 747. Right, here we go. There we are. Yeah, so I want to specialise in tiles. I've got a real desire to get good at making tiles. Yeah. I think probably, I don't need the wheel to do, obviously I'm going to do other things as well, but I'd really like to get good at tiles. And I think a lot of that has to do with the paper crafting side of me, because it's flat, isn't it? Do you reckon? I do, I think. And I don't mean tiles for the bathroom. I don't mean I want to go into mass production. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about beautiful hand-painted tiles. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, see, last time when the lockdown happened in March, everything shut down, didn't it? And then there was no, right, let's have a look. What are we going, this tree comes along here. Yeah, it does. That's the hill. See the hill's going through there like that. So this is the tree here. Yeah, so when it locked down, there was no pottery classes, you know, and it was really, I felt quite, I got withdrawal almost, because, you know how much I love the pottery. So I thought, you know, this is gonna be here for a little while longer. I wasn't wrong. Look, here we go. And I thought, right, well, while I can, let's get kitted out. You know, before it all gets shut down again, let's get kitted out. So we'll kiln's not arriving till November though, but I've ordered it. All right, brilliant. It's coming from up north. There's a company in the north called Northern Kilns. Boom, boom. That's why I know where they are. Family business. Do like a family business. And they come down and they install it for you and they get it all up and running, show you how to work it. Bingo. Okay. So that's happening. But not before, mind you, November's up the road, isn't it? Right, you ready, Dick Van Dyke? 176. So let's do a bit of brown now. So it looks quite, gritty and muddy. But now what we're going to do is just put a bit of brown in there as well, here and there. See? But you're not going in hard, you just gently does it. So it's that practice with the light colours, isn't it? With the dark colours. There you go, just go lightly, is what I'm trying to say. Don't press too hard. See, you're just going to get that layer in. So at least you can see where the tree is now. Yeah, you've established the tree. And the ones down the bottom as well, the little ones. Exactly the same. I'm just concentrating on one area so that you can see, you know, rather than do all of it in green and then we're going to run out of time. See? So then you do that. So you've got a nice, so I've used the green from the head. I've used the brown from the undercarriage. Now I'm going in with the yellow from the beak. Right, light source. I mean, listen, there are no experts in this building. You may have a much better idea for these trees. And if you do, then go for it. This was what I came up with. You know, I'm not the font of all knowledge. I just had a little think about it when I started this morning, that's all. I just had a think, went out in the garden, had a look, decided that made sense to me. And the thing is that it looks a little bit strange until you drop the background in. And then actually, apart from, you know, Mighty Duck, the tree doesn't look quite so strange. And the other thing is, so you've got all this lovely pigment here, right? A little bit of green again, a little bit of... But what's really impressive, right? You can leave it gritty like that. If it's a little bit patchy, let's say, let's pretend you've done it and it is a little bit patchy and you think, oh, I wish it wasn't quite so patchy. I wish it was smoother, right? Choices. Because this is a really nice way of doing a leaf as well. Right, what we're doing here. Let's have a look. But you know that if I wanted to smooth these colours, like just blend them out a little bit, all I need to do is take these things again. Look. I can take the hard, oh, I've really got into the back end of these. Let's have a look. I've got one here. I need to get some new ones off. That'll do. Right. So I can use what colour is that? It's a bit dark. That'll do. Okay. See, so I can just gently, I can go over this colour and it just smooths out. It makes such a difference. I enjoy this a lot. And if I want to, look, I can get a holder as well, that helps. See? And then you don't press too hard and you just go circular motions around where you've already been, and it does enough work. It just moves the pigment around. Don't press hard. It's dry, there's no oil or anything on it, and then you just move around like that. I mean, I said the other day that you should try and, maybe if you haven't got any of these and you don't want to buy them, try a Q-tip, but I'm not sure that it's any cheaper or better, to be honest. I don't think it's better. These definitely work. And then what we were saying, what I realised was, of course, it's double-ended. So this end is quite, it's good for detail, to get into the tight detail. But if you've got like a large expanse, say you want to do the sky or something like that, right? You can use this end, and it's a lot harder. Let me just get it going. See, what I'm going to do is, like, I'll get it going like this, just to give it a bit of an edge. And I can use that end as well in here. But I need, really, to be honest, I need the more detailed end to get in this bit. But if I was doing the sky, right? I mean, now I've got green all over it. But you see, it's so much easier to go on a large expanse like this. Yeah, look. And it just blends it in so nicely. Right? Or if you're doing the hills and they look a little bit, you want to smooth out the shadow. It makes such a difference using the blending nibs. And that is using the bit that normally we don't use. Normally we only use the lovely fine, the nib. And you can use oil, of course you can. I don't. I haven't, but you can, you know. Sometimes when you Google or you look up how people use polychromos or pergoliners, they often use like a Dorso oil, or like there's the oil. We got the oil, and you put a bit of that on it, and it smooths it out like glass. Okay. And it works on parchment predominantly, but it also works beautifully on card as well. Maybe next time we do another colouring project, maybe we'll get that. We'll have a go with the Dorso oil and the blending nibs. See, the reason I avoid it is because so many of you won't have it, you see. So I tend to sort of stick to what you've got. But if you've got these, they're a good investment. But if you've got them and you've got the Dorso oil, then we could give it a go on card, couldn't we? We could give it a go. It makes a big difference, the oil. But because I know that you're doodling along with me, I tend to, I've got a craft company. Do you know how much gear I've got? I've got a warehouse full of, I haven't got one brush. I've got thousands of brushes, And so, and I'm not saying that to show off. What I'm saying is, The SHAC is not a selling platform. You know, I don't sell on the SHAC. I just want us to just get creative and hang out together. Having said that, though, I know that a lot of you have got the Dorso oil, and you've got the pencils, and you've got the pens, and you've got the postcards, and so a lot of you craft along with me. But I don't want it to become a selling platform. There's a time and a place for selling, and the SHAC's not it. However, if you choose to buy, I'm not going to hold you back, all right? I'm definitely not going to hold you back, said Barbara, the businesswoman. Okay. Paul, at 6 o'clock, he is selling on Hochanda. That is for sure. Those stamps and dies, beautiful. See? So that tones it down really nicely. And all the difference between that and that is layers. So for example, you can see what I've done, and this is where it gets good again, is that go and make a cup of tea, get your colour. So we've got our Dick Van Dyke brown again, and then off we go again. And you'll see that all I've done is I just add a little bit of shadow. And if you don't want it to be too extreme, then that's where your stippling comes in again. And you can stipple and blend as well. I tell you, say you stipple like this, and you put down a layer of brown like that, and then you think, oh, it looks like the tree's got Dutch elm or something. It's all dotty, right? If that's the case, then you take and then when you blend it in, it tones down the stippling too. So it doesn't make it disappear, it tones it down. Try it, just don't believe me, just try it. Just do a little bit of stippling like I have there. Do it on a bit of scrap if you like. Right, so we're just doing a bit of stippling along there. If it's too dotty, you think, well, no, that doesn't look right. Then you take your blending tool, and when you go over it, it tones it right down. It brings all the colours in, it mixes it all up again. See, what a difference, just that little exercise. So that's the only thing that's different between that one and that one is layers. Just, you can go in bright, you can go in dark, you can leave it like that and concentrate on the background. It's entirely up to you. But that's how we did the tree, you see? So we're not introducing any other colours other than the ones that we use for the duck. The green, the yellow and the brown. And then, yeah, your greys. Yeah, because your greys give you good shadow. And also, if it's a little bit too fruity, if it's too vibrant, then say I take a grey and then I go in over the top, you'll see. I'll just show you, but you'll see. Say that area there is quite yellow. If I take that, any grey, pick a grey, any grey, if I just go in over the top, it just tones it down, you see? It takes the yellowness out of it, that's all. Provided that you haven't pressed too hard and created a seal, it works a treat. So there you go. What's the time? It's time to call it a day. Wow. So we've done the Mighty Duck, Mutant Duck, Bone 747. And what would be brilliant? We're going to get together again now. Let me think. Paul's on television at on Hochanda at 6 o'clock this evening, and then he's on tomorrow. And then on Friday at 9 o'clock, I've got a mixed media show, right? So that's at 9 o'clock. So that goes from 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock. So what I would ask you to do, apart from come over and watch mixed media, which is going to be big, beautiful doodleology stamps and, yeah, nice stencils. If you're up for it, join me on Hochanda at 9 o'clock on Friday, and then it'll go till 10 o'clock, and then I've got to rejig this, and then we'll do the SHAC at 10:30 on Friday. It won't happen, it only happens once a month. Only happens once a month on that Friday, okay? So that's what we're going to do. I will see you. Thank you for joining me. Stuart, thank you for all your help. And I'll see you at 10:30 on Friday. Same place, not same time. How's that sound? Are we adequately confused now? Ask Stuart. 10:30 Friday. I'll be here. Lots of love. Be safe. See you then. Bye-bye now.